just happy to be here.
What up, beautiful people of the world? My name is ExZac Change, and I'm happy to be here today with my guest, Josh Bender.
What up, man?
What up, bro?
How you doing?
I'm good. All right, so we getting really high, and we're talking about our new favorite TV show.
The Righteous Gemstones.
The Righteous Gemstones. Dude, I never would have thought that they could make a fucking TV show about, like, because it's like that Joel Osteen type shit, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
you remember all that scandal he went through, right?
was it? I mean, I just heard about like the Houston, Texas shit, and like he wasn't letting people in. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it was a big deal back when it was happening.
Yeah, bro. People were like, "Yo, man, what's up? You got a mega church?" He's like, "Ooh, listen, bro, my shit's nice. Bro.
Yeah,
you guys are wet." No, like, dude, you don't have a fucking basement. You don't have like a grungy,
right?
Like
or take some of that untaxed money and find a facility.
Can I crash at your 7th home?
Right.
You know.
Dude, it's crazy to understand like how much the church operates as a business. I mean, they have to because like I get it, but it's all completely untaxed. And for most churches,
weird.
Like to be a member of the church, and I know people are going to say, no, you don't have to pay to be a church, but like if you're going to be involved in your church, you're expected to tithe 10% of your income to the church. So if you think about that, like in a family setting, religion? It's in most religions. You have to donate. Tithing, yeah, just it's like giving to your church. Yeah. So like, and if like, like Catholics have their way to tithe, so do the Christians. I know that the Church of the Latter-day Saints tithes to. I'm not sure of the process and how much you're supposed to, but like, yeah, it's just crazy how much money that they can get. Like when I was working with a lot of when I was working at PushPay out in Seattle, it was a startup that sold custom apps and payment processing systems to churches. Like my responsibilities covered the small market, which was 0 to 150 churches or 150 people in a church.
Okay. And
then I moved up to the mid market, which was like 150, 200 plus to like 500-600 people.
Okay.
And the churches that have even 100 people, they're still pulling in like easily over $250,000 a year, like
Jesus,
untaxed. And then the churches over 600, like those are like, close to $1 million in a year. Like you see, you've seen on Righteous Gemstones, they pull in $1 million every Sunday, and on Easter Sunday they get $3 million. Like
yeah, and because. How many mega churches are out there, I wonder? Because I don't know. You got a lot of churches.
A ton.
You got a lot
there's
of
there's a lot, dude. There's a significant amount, and think of every major city. And down in the Bible Belt, too, that's like a whole nother world. Like, everybody's still very religious. And you see that
especially in the South. Yeah, so, for real. And it's crazy because you got all these religions. You got the Mormon religion. You got Scientology. Religion, the Scientology tithes. They tithe the shit out of their people.
100%. Have you seen the episode of South Park where they talk about Scientology?
God, I feel like I have, but refresh my memory, please.
It's basically along the lines of they believe that a bunch of spirits had been wandering lost souls. They got brainwashed in a facility in like a volcano, and then they escaped, and this alien overlord like captures all of the spirits and brainwashes them, and then sends them to inhabit the bodies of like Homo sapiens on Earth. And
so what the fuck? Wow, bro.
Yeah, and this is and then it like literally like says sell. On the. I mean, I haven't done my research outside of this, but like usually South Park's pretty on with their shit. And
like they look up
on the episode, it's like, no, we're not joking. This is actually what they believe. And they did the same shit with the Book of Mormon.
Okay, so I saw the Book of Mormon one recently.
That one was hilarious.
Because I want to see the Broadway play.
The Broadway play? Yeah, dude.
I want to see that so bad.
Over 50 mega churches in the United States with an attendance of 20 to 47,000 people.
Mega churches. How many? 40?
No, there's over 60.
Over 60.
And that's on
an attendance of upwards to like 40 to 50,000 per church.
Holy
that's like
shit.
That's gemstone status.
Yeah.
Dude. God, man, you find something that people fucking really love, bro. You can capitalize on that shit and get rich as hell. Yeah, whether it's Jesus, whether it's weed, whether it's alcohol, whether it's sex, like all that shit sells. That's what's crazy, man. I don't know, but Jesus and like church, you sell it in such a different way. You know, it's not like through Hollywood that you sell it. It's like sold through.
Well, it's more so like the churches do a lot for their community, and as a pastor, you like a head pastor, an executive pastor, you have a lot of responsibility, and you need to be paid.
Did you grow up in like a church family, or?
Well, I was raised Catholic, so I wasn't really. No, didn't really go.
Okay, so
I went to church. I went to church. No, I got baptized, and like I went to church with friends at like a Lutheran church because that's where all my friends went. And like when I'd stay the night at their house on Saturday, like one of the stipulations was, all right, well, you're going to church with them in the morning. You know,
I remember those.
So yeah. I would go to church and like Sunday school. Sometimes I'd go to Sunday school whenever I was at my grandparents' house out in Idaho, and I stayed with them. I went to church camps like Camp Reed and Camp Luther Haven.
The church camps were dope, bro, because
there wasn't
like
as fuck.
There wasn't a lot of like, see, because when I thought about church when I was a kid, because my parents were Christian and they always, wanted to go to church on Sunday, and I, obviously when you're a kid and you're like, dude, I went to school, like,
so 5 days this week.
Come on,
let me chill.
Don't let me don't take away Sunday morning. So I always just thought of it as like this burden, like boring thing.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I was bored out of my mind.
You know what I mean? For like you got to get up, and especially because I'm thinking like the main church, right? Like when you go in there and it's the dude
you're having service,
and you're like a young guy, and it's like this is a dude that's talking to like old people, and you're like, I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. And that's what's really funny about Righteous Gemstones, how they got Adam Devine playing the youth pastor, because that's funny, dude. At every like especially Christian church, that's you got that person. That cool guy that's like, yo, man, like you're gonna sell Jesus to the youth.
I connect with the youth.
Yeah. So
I know social media.
I know social media. Dude, what is because is that Christian religion? Is that what it's based on, the Righteous Gemstones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of branches of Christianity.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, dude. Like it's confusing, huh? So Lutheran, that's like one of them, right?
Lutheranism. That's like a form of Catholicism.
Protestant.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and like the differences between them are like crazy small, and I don't know. It just seems like like there's like just little differences. Well, so I remember fucking like when I went to my friends, because I had the same situation where it was like, all right, you can spend the night and you guys can stay up, play video games, do what you want to do and shit, but you have to go to church in the morning, right? And I was like, well, we want to fucking play. We want to try to hang out, play some basketball, fucking play some video games. All right, cool. I'll do it, whatever. And I did that at my buddy's house, he's a Mormon, and fuck, bro, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, bro, but their shit is boring as fuck. And
you went to a Mormon church service?
Yeah, dog. And it was like 3 hours long. Or like
dude. Sunday ain't no joke for a Mormon. It's not like you can't do shit. He
kind of warned me too, and I was like, no, church. Yeah, no church, bro.
Oh, no, you should have listened to him. No, this is different, bro.
This is different. And his parents were not fucking around, bro.
No.
Not fucking. Like,
was their house like hella old school too, and like very well kept?
Yeah, and like he was the shit that he was showing me. I remember he was like, oh man, he was showing me comedy, right? He was like, oh, I'm really into comedy. He was showing me like a bunch of Jeff Foxworthy and shit. He's like, you ever heard of Jeff Foxworthy? And that's like where I first like heard of Jeff Foxworthy, dude. I was like, oh, okay. And like, because this guy's parents were like strict as fuck, dude. So he wasn't allowed to like, have any raunchy shit. So Jeff Foxworthy is what we got.
I took for granted that like my mom was like letting me watch Jane Silent Bob when I was like 7 or 8, and like Beavis and Butthead Do America and the South Park movie and Meet the Fockers. Like I saw all of those before I was 8.
And look, man, like what is that? What's the big concern with that? That your kid's gonna be just like?
Well, I did get in trouble for swearing a lot in school, but that's fine. Like sometimes I need to fucking swear to communicate. Yeah, just like Ricky off Trailer Park Boys.
I mean, it is definitely like those words. What is that? Accentuate? they add to.
Well, I mean,
they add
just
emotion.
Yeah, exactly. I think it just helps my mind and my speech flow a little bit easier sometimes, because I'm a little dyslexic and I like have had a lisp my entire life, so it's hard for me to like talk fluidly in some scenarios. But when I'm talking fast and
throw a couple fucks in there,
a couple shits, it's, I don't know, it flows better.
And it flows better, dude. That's super interesting, because I've never heard of somebody saying that throwing a couple fucks in there will make it kind of flow. But that's true, bro. Because I don't know. What about bro? I say?
It's easy speech pattern.
I say shit like,
dude, you can throw fuck. Could be a noun, an adjective, a verb. It could be literally like any type of word, and you could throw it in any part of a sentence, and it will make sense.
You could literally be like, you fuck.
Like if you're talking about, take the this title, The Art and Science of Respect.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking the art of science and of respect. The fucking art and science of respect. The art and fucking science of respect. Like it makes sense.
The fucking art of science and fucking respect. Yeah, like you can add it in any form. Yeah, I'm good on that. I want to hit this blunt. So, yeah, Righteous Gemstones. That's kind of what we're watching, dude. You put me onto that. We just watched the newest episode on Sunday. What was that, yesterday? 2 days ago?
Yeah, it was, man.
Yeah, when you have to watch it and you can't binge like a Netflix thing, and you actually
have to wait. The anticipation is so great, but it sucks. Like
it does. It does suck.
The first thing,
there's nothing great about it. It's good for promotion, I feel like, but as far as like the consumer, obviously, when you can watch a couple episodes in a row, you get more attached to the characters. Because with like Righteous Gemstones, you started it off from the very beginning, or did you get to watch any back to back?
No, I started it all off from the beginning.
Like when you told me, and I got to watch like 4 or 5 of them in a row, like it was like
awesome.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. Do you remember the first thing I said right when the episode ended? I was like, I want more. Mm-hmm. I cannot wait for more. That show, any show Danny McBride does, man, it's always fucking hilarious. Further than that, it's HBO. Really, mm-hmm. HBO knows comedy, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What other good comedy shows do they got that you like on there?
They took away all of the Chris Lilly comedy on there, which he did Summer Heights High, Angry Boys, Jimmy Private School Girl.
What happened with that?
Jonah from
Chris
Tonga.
Lilly?
Do you remember who Chris Lilly is?
It sounds so
He has a show on Netflix right now called Lunatics. And he does like the thing where he plays like multiple characters.
Oh, is he like fucking? Is he from another country?
He's from Australia.
Yeah, that's right. So I saw Theo Vaughn had a podcast with him actually.
He's so fucking funny, dude.
But I don't think I've ever seen any of his stuff.
He's got something on Netflix. Like I said, that's probably the easiest way to check him out. It's called Lunatics. But I think, honestly, like Summer Heights High and Angry Boys are the two notes to judge Chris Lilly on, because they're great.
Best stuff.
Oh, for sure,
dude. I really actually fell in love with the show called Crashing on HBO. And it's Pete Holmes.
Yeah.
So like I remember seeing Pete Holmes, like he had like a TBS show, the Pete Holmes Show or something, and I was like, this guy's fucking corny as hell. Like, I'm never gonna watch this. And I didn't. I never watched it. I just assumed it was trash and that it would be, that's kind of how it is with a new show, is that you're kind of like, this is just, you kind of base it on like a really quick assumption, and you're just kind of like, hey, this is gonna either be good or this is gonna be trash, and I'm not gonna bother. But he ended up getting an HBO show called Crashing, where it's literally like him kind of being himself, going through stand-up and not really being edgy, and he's like a Christian dude, and like, but he's funny as fuck and just like kills it. And the show is just hilarious, bro, and so well done. I fell in love with that show, and then I bought his book. He had a book come out. It's called Comedy Sex God. But not like it's cool because it goes both ways. Comedy Sex God or Comedy Sex God, like in that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I get that.
But I started reading that. I haven't finished it, but it's crazy, man, because I would think that I'm only into like raunchy humor.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what I like. I like something with a little edge on it, and he finds a way to still do it, even being just like a super clean dude. It's funny.
That's a good talent to have. It's hard to filter yourself.
Well, I think that being yourself.
That's true.
It's something that gets like tossed around, like be yourself, man. But in every moment when you're like thinking at all, like what are these people thinking? What am I doing? Like just do what what natural you is telling you to do, man.
Yeah.
And just whatever. Just move on, not give a fuck, say something, whatever.
Because that's when you start to feel shitty, is when you go against the grain like that. Like when you get too far along, like I feel that's where a lot of my, like if I do get anxiety and stress, it comes from me not doing what I know I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, that's exactly where anxiety comes from, bro. Or worrying about shit that you don't need to worry about, because if you're just yourself, what's gonna need to happen is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're either gonna fuck up, or something's gonna happen. You're gonna learn from it, or you're gonna be successful.
But
and
being yourself does, and I feel like a lot of people might take that as like just going with the flow and being lackadaisical
not
with
making
your
goals.
No,
and shit
but like
that.
that's not yourself. Like deep down, you know, like you want more than that.
And maybe that is yourself, and in that case, don't be yourself.
Yeah.
Be somebody else.
Right.
Be somebody more successful than yourself. Be a more successful version of yourself.
Yeah, be the best you can be.
Like,
which is still you.
It means don't sacrifice your values. Stand for something.
Hold yourself accountable. Yeah, man. Set goals. Get better. Like this whole body. Like I think that we neglect our bodies so much. Our body, like just our physical being. Like we're so worried about everything else. Yeah.
And we'll like intake shit and listen to people bitch in our ear, and then like get negative, and then like do a bunch of bad shit to our bodies. And it's like really like you're given this one thing, and you got to nourish the mind, and then you want to take care of it. You want to work out. You want to put good things in it. You want to feel good, so that way you can affect people in a positive way.
Well, it's just like a chain effect, really, at the end of the day. Like you get the ball rolling, and just like you gain momentum.
Well, it's kind of like a balance thing, but you're right, because like when you're working out, typically, you know, you're eating pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you're not working out or whatever, typically you're not eating very good.
Eating out a bunch. Yeah.
And you can fall into those like cycles where I've just
really felt it more than ever now that, I mean, we're both doing the Sober October, so no alcohol and no refined sugar. We can smoke weed, because that would be ridiculous. Yeah, which makes it harder.
I keep saying I'm going to fucking give up weed, but yeah, being high and not being able to have sugar. I got water, not being able to have a beer.
I've been drinking so much more water, especially like at night when I'm really craving something sweet. I'll just drink some water and then try to go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, last night, bro, I fucking got home at like midnight, ate like 2 bowls of spaghetti. I was like, yeah, I'm going to eat the spaghetti, bro. But that's how I'm feeling without sugar, man. Fucking over here dying, bro. Eating like 4 tacos, 5 tacos, 5 burritos. Like I'm just fucking...
Because your body's craving it. I don't know. It's just made me really aware that it matters what you put in your body, for sure.
Well, I
definitely ate way too much candy. I could kill like a bag of candy, like the chewy sweet tarts, easily in 20 minutes.
Dude,
no problem.
Like I was just telling this dude, I found some cabbage. What are those things called? Sour
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Sweet Patch Kids, was it? Sour Patch Kids.
First they're sour, then they're sweet.
And fuck, bro, like that shit just kept me going all day with just that little bit of sugar, just munching on those all day. Fire. Like, but I know that
I can't do candy in one. I eat what's in front of me, and that's not good.
Yeah, and so, dude, like I was, man, I could go for a peanut butter cup, dude.
Anyways,
yeah, let's not talk about that. Fuck, get it off the mind. But okay, yeah, I mean, but really, we do it because I'm doing it because it's like you have so many days to do it. So just pick, 31 where you just don't, and if you can't not do it, then what the fuck?
Self-discipline, dude.
Like, who are you if you can't just to not do something should be easy as I hit the weed, because
Well,
The
I
weed
mean,
is
you
forever.
just started working at,
The store.
at the new spot, and you have to be on your game, knowing different kinds of weed. Like you would be bad at.
And I'm actually learning genuinely that that is the thing, is that you can't just be like, oh, this is fire, man. This is fire. This is fire. It's like people ask you, is that good?
You're a connoisseur.
I'm like, I don't know.
You need to be a connoisseur, like a sommelier in the wine world.
Now, I don't feel bad about not knowing about
Oil,
cheap weed.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I don't care about that because people are like, well, have you tried this? I'm like, I'll be honest, man. I'm a snob. I don't really smoke that kind of stuff.
Yep.
If you got to smoke it, hey, it looks good, but I would not, like, unless they sent me a sample, I would not buy that weed. I would not buy like the $18 eighth.
Or
and it might be really good.
There's a lot of places with $10 eighths.
But I want to see
people buy them.
See, I want to see the shit that is like, whoa. I want to see the stuff that blows you. I don't care about like okay weed because I'm not like trying to get high, man. Like this is a lifestyle. This isn't just like I just smoke weed because I need to feel high every day. Like we smoke weed because it's delicious.
I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like we don't really even get that baked. It's more of like just like a social thing. It's like ritual more so.
It's ritual.
Than anything.
Gotta have rituals, man. Gotta have traditions. As long as they're, good. Like
Not
cool.
Self-destructive.
Not self-destructive, yeah.
Anything is manageable. Somebody was saying the other day, like, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about how John Mayer casually does heroin, and like I'm like,
that's a
how
fact.
do you yeah, I know it is, but like I was thinking about like how do you casually do heroin?
I microdose heroin.
Like you could take.
So why don't you just like why don't you just take like some heroin? What's that like some? What's that shit? That heroin pills. What's that shit called? Methadone? Or something like that. Like, I mean, heroin just seems like a lot to do. With needles and spoons and
but like
lighters.
You remember
and
in
it just, I don't know,
Fiction,
man.
That right there.
Oh, yeah, where she snorted it?
Yeah, like you can
you could fucking have to get your heart stabbed by the fucking needle, bro. Damn, bro, it just sounds fucking dangerous. That's a weird recreational drug right there. But I was listening to Joe Rogan talk to some dude about why it should be legal, and he was breaking it down and shit, where they had like clinics where people could go and do it. I mean, and it's just like another world that I don't really understand. I feel like a lot of people don't understand.
Well, I think what's really worth talking about is the like progress on states allowing like psychedelic therapy and like stimulant therapy like MDMA.
What states do that?
Oregon, for sure.
Fucking Oregon got it down, dude.
Well, I mean, they're working on it right now, but like I forget what other state they're doing it in. I think it's like Kansas or something. Well, they do the ayahuasca therapy, but that's religion based, so they can get around that with that.
They do ayahuasca therapy?
Mm-hmm. There was Joe Rogan was talking with this dude who had like went into a clinic and got shot up with maybe mescaline or something. I don't know. It's either
bring this a little bit closer to you. You can like put it up too.
But he was talking about like how it was like in a medical like facility, and he was frying balls and just going through it, and it was like life changing for him because he was like an addict. And
that was on what?
So Joe Rogan.
And that was on some DMT or whatever.
No, it was just like a hallucinogen. I think it was mescaline.
Oh, mescaline. That's right.
Yeah.
You said that. Sorry, I fucking kind of spaced out there for a second, bro.
Yeah.
I just remember. Yeah, you said mescaline. I don't even really know what mescaline is, dude. To be honest. But it's like a psychedelic. I just know that
I might be wrong.
I just know they had it in what was that shit? Fear and Loathing. You talk about mescaline.
Yeah.
Outside of that, though, I never do what it is.
It's like, I think it's like close to like a horse tranquilizer, like ketamine.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. I was just kind of thinking that same thing. Like ketamine, that's another. See, these things scare me, bro. Like I can do like weed, LSD,
I've never done any of
and
them.
mushrooms, and that's it. And the DMT is kind of just sounds crazy, bro. I don't know. People talking about leaving your body, but they also talk about coming back to this world, right? Knowing more and like being
100%.
able to like apply that to your life to be better, which I found with mushrooms you can do that, but they're talking about do that on another level. You've done DMT before?
A few times, yeah.
Oh,
it's really,
what's it like? Yeah,
I don't know, it's like you gain a lot of perspective and you learn a lot about like what else there is, and that's really all that I could say.
So does it kind of like
you can't really explain it.
So does it kind of like show you how small you are in the big scheme of things and stuff like that?
But like how connected everything really is and like what is actually going on. Like communication with like your higher self and like your, I don't want to say guardian angels, but like, because that's like a very biblical term, but for lack of a better term, that's like what you're communicating with.
So like a different part of your mind type of thing?
A part of your mind that accesses something like completely different. A completely different type of reality. Like,
because your mind is so complex.
Different dimension. Like,
how much of our mind do they say we use?
Like 20% at
yeah,
most,
something
maybe
small.
something small like that. I don't know.
So it's like all that fucking uncharted brain, dude. And if 20% of my brain can do what I'm doing now, what the fuck could another 20% do?
Have you seen the movie Lucy?
Lucy. Is that new?
No, it's with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Lucy. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, dude, that's like what that movie
she like
is
unlocks.
based on. Yeah, her brain just keeps getting
or kind of like Limitless, right? He like
Limitless
takes
is
that
tight as fuck. Yeah, that's a great movie. So but they specifically talk about that. Remember Morgan Freeman was giving a speech on that in particular. What if we unlocked like at 30% we would do this, at 40% we'd do this. Like,
oh yeah, she'd be able to like dodge bullets at this.
Yeah, she'd be able to slow down perception of time, blah blah blah, or like she could manipulate matter within her hand at 70% because she can like interact with molecules.
That's fucking crazy, man. And it's
like
realistic,
crazy potential like within our body, but it's just like we don't
know how to fucking access it. Maybe microdosing is the way.
You learn a lot from it.
I think that having psychedelic experiences,
I think it's necessary
with your friends and by yourself.
100%.
I think that when you do it with your friends and when you do it by yourself, you get two different experiences. Obviously, it's a different experience because it's a different time doing it, but you're going to have a different experience. With your friends, it's just kind of like a fun, like laughing. Like I like to go like walk in the woods or do crazy shit. I was jumping on trampolines and shit when I did it one time, and that was fun. Just being outside and being connected with nature, like on a beautiful day, sunset, shit like that, bro. But then when you do it by yourself, I feel like you can really confront fucked up shit inside of you. Like that's what I did actually. I was like, man, you're being a bitch about this, and
yeah,
you're being fucking lazy, and like I fucking like
it doesn't have to be like negative like that, but that always happens.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, what the fuck, bro?
You just
like,
get real. You just get real about things. You're like, you try to really break it down. And like, okay, I tend to do these things when this happens, and this is how I handle it. What do I need to do within that situation to change to get to where I want to go? And like,
yeah,
and
you figure it
what's
out.
cool, and what I always say about hallucinogens in general is it helps you like go deeper into everything, unlock more. Like there is more connectivity between the left and the right side of your brain when you're on something like LSD or mushrooms or even MDMA, which is pretty crazy. But you break things down in a really deep just understanding way of why things happen or what's going on or what things truly mean to you. And then you really can have some life-changing experiences when you have realizations like, all right, this much is at stake for me. This is what like my overall like soul would need to nourish itself, because like heaven and hell is like a mindset, and like you can either live in heaven or live in hell, and like that carries over like when you die. So like you got to create it for yourself, and if you don't, it could be really fucked up. And sometimes you can experience that on hallucinogens,
so you can kind of get like a little taste of that,
especially if you're in a bad place just mentally and not doing well. It can really like be a great way to just check yourself.
Yeah, that's what it did for me, is I was able to check myself. That's a good way to say it, because I was able to just like see things and kind of confront them in a way where I could find a way to fix them.
Yep.
That was what was crazy, is that like without it, it seemed like I couldn't really find I couldn't find a solution. I couldn't find how to overcome it. And it's the same thing with like anxieties. I think that stage fright. We let that dog in? I appreciate you. Just put him downstairs if you would. But like if you're like afraid to get on stage, like sometimes I get nervous, before a show or something, and I feel like sometimes it could even be good for that. Like you take some, have a psychedelic experience about it, bro. Like
exactly.
if you have anything that's kind of plaguing you or something that you're worried about or something, like you don't have to take a lot, but have a psychedelic experience and
be in the right place
and be with it. And like you're right, man. Your brain will go to a different place outside of where you're normally at.
Yeah. So you have to like make sure wherever you're going to be at, like you're in a good place, like
you got to be in a good place,
like physically, not even like just
not
be
even
somewhere,
just your surroundings.
just be where you're the most fucking comfortable, and you'll be fine. But
yeah, I think it's cool, man. It's really cool how like when I was a kid, it was so demonized for like psychedelics. Like, oh, you do psychedelics, you're just like a fucking hippie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but you're like burnt out. Like, and now it's there's so much more education with like the internet and everything, and you got people like Joe Rogan, who has a huge podcast, and he talks about that kind of shit. So I think it gives like more of a platform for like what the benefits could be. Get rid of all the ignorance and the people that are just trying to like put a stigma around it, and just be like, damn, bro, this can be helpful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like all the stigma around all of that was just created from the war on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much.
That's drugs.
Yeah.
But that's
what's so crazy. It's slowly changing though. Like
it's crazy that people have prescription pills and they don't even really think like drugs. Those are different drugs. Those are so
much worse.
Those are safe drugs. Those are drugs my doctor gave me. And
did you hear that? Lil Peep's mom is suing his manager for being responsible for his death, for supplying him with drugs and allowing it to happen.
How old was that kid when he died?
19 or 20.
Man.
He made some dope music, dude.
It's just crazy how
if you like
the drugs could just like a lot of musicians seem to, it's just like a wild life, when you're out there and you just, especially to get in a frame of mind to access these like certain feelings sometimes, like, a lot of artists will drink.
Oh yeah.
Or do something to like get you into
relax mode.
Or just, yeah, it's weird. Like, especially alcohol really helps with like, you just start thinking you're like so much more loose when you have a beat on and you're just got a little buzz going and you're just everything starts flowing in and words are just coming in and you're just thinking of all these different ways you could start it. Whereas when you're not, sometimes you're just like battling yourself and you're trying to find like, and you're overthinking.
Yeah, a little fuck it juice, just
I
like
think
it in your
overthinking.
system. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just being natural and reactive and like not being, don't say, all right, I'm going to go do this, but just like, all right, I'm going to just let what needs to happen, essentially. Mm-hmm. I think that relates a lot to like what I treated sports like in high school. Like, and I was like a very reactive person, and that's why I felt like I was pretty decent at sports. But I think that's just kind of how you have to take everything on.
What did you play in high school?
Football, and I ran track.
Ran track. Damn, bro. You still run?
No.
What did you do? Was you doing like relay or like cross country or something?
Yeah, I did the 100 and the 4x1 relay, and then I did long jump and triple jump.
Long jump. Damn, that was the one I liked.
Yeah, long jump was tight.
Fun.
That was fun. Triple jump was tight too when you figure it out.
What's triple jump?
It's where you're running down the runway, and there's like a white line, and then there's another white line, and then there's the pit. So you're running, you go either right, left, and then jump.
Oh, yeah.
Or you go left, right, and jump.
That's right. I've seen that before. Man, it's crazy, man. High school is so cool with that kind of stuff, man. Because like in real life, you know, you really have to seek things out to bring them into your world, right? And like when you were in high school and shit, it was just there. Like it was like
you much structure and just like
where do you want to go?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Boom. Play fucking want instruments? There you go. Well, you want to fucking run? Oh, basketball? Boop. Right here. Like there's a team. Like we have, you know, and we can make that a part of. Yeah. I don't know. It's just I think there is something really to say about like that structure kind of thing, because sometimes when things are too like you have to seek them out really to get them into your world, it's like people don't. And then it's like you're missing out on stuff. Maybe it's just, and that's just how humans are. Instead of being like, oh, well, you know, people could be better, this or that. It's just like, I think we should make it easy for people to be better.
Exactly. And that's why it's so fucked up right now, how much they're cutting like education budget and like having to fire all these teachers and take out these programs right now.
It's getting like, it's all about money. It feels like it's all about money and nothing's about like.
Well, there's been a big shift right now towards like charter schools, and they get a lot of a bad rap for them because like people have to pay to go, but honestly they're so much better of an option because you get so much more out of your education.
So what is a charter school?
They have,
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a non-state ran school that's privately owned and like brings in, they can like have whatever curriculum they want to have, and it's pretty cool.
That's cool because, well, is there like smaller classes? See, the other thing is I feel like
kids, they do a ton of scholarships too, so they have people that donate a lot of money and then like pay for people that like want to come in, and like I don't know, it's not hard for people to get into these. It's like there's public charter schools where they allow like anybody to come in, but it's basically still a privately owned.
So they can still, the curriculum, they can make it like they can choose, because I feel like a public school, like they don't choose, right? Like the state says,
the state 100% says like you have to teach this like Common Core. Do you remember hearing about
Common
that
Core
change?
No, what's that?
It's like a different way to do math. It's stupid. I don't understand it. Everybody says the same thing.
So, but it's just like a new way they're trying to teach it.
Yeah.
I think they just need to take some shit out. I think that they spend too much time like history. Like, do we really got to talk about fucking like all the old shit that much? Like, just let me know all the fucked up shit.
Rundown. Like, give me a rundown.
Give me a rundown, man. You know? I don't need to fucking.
Let me watch some movies.
I don't need to have full classes.
I watch so much shit on history now, though. Like on YouTube, like still.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like, I was learning about the Ottoman Empire last night, and what I do is I just fall asleep to it, and they're like 3-hour-long videos. So I just hope I retain that information, and someday maybe like I'll shock myself with something, and
like knowing something.
And no, like literally shock myself, like with electricity on accident, and it's just gonna trigger something in my brain, and just all these.
And then you'll go in Jeopardy and fucking
history just kind of click, and I'm like, oh man, I remember everything.
So you just subliminally like, dude. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really add anything to anything I'm trying to do. Fucking history. Knowing about history.
Like, I'm just exactly. Like, that's true. But it's also like, it's good to know like what things you can learn a lot from history.
I'd rather learn how to fix a car.
That's true.
Or like learn how to.
You can learn a whole lot of shit. You just got to budget your time for learning.
I do, dude. Because that Udemy shit. is
it's tight as fuck.
That
It's
shit,
so cheap.
I know, man. I keep fucking saying I'm gonna do it, and I'm not doing it. And that's the thing I'm trying to get better at. That follow through game,
Dude,
it can be tough sometimes. Got that fuck it in your system.
you should hit me up about Quantopia sometime, and I think
Sounds
I can
like a
help
cult.
you out. It's not a cult. It's like,
come to Quantopia.
have you ever heard of quantum? You know what quantum physics is, right?
I've heard of it.
Do you understand
No.
All right. Well, do some research.
Okay. I thought he was gonna explain it right now. I was like, oh shit, dude. He's gonna explain quantum physics in just a couple words.
No, but basically, it's like it's the science behind teleportation, like as what we know right now, because saying that we can affect this photon here and it will have an effect on a photon in another location. That's like the quantum entanglement theory.
Okay.
And it's been proven, and like they've been able to teleport a photon like from a base somewhere, I can't remember, into space somewhere. I don't know the details. But
that sounds crazy.
Quantum physics is pretty crazy.
So what's Quantopia?
Just hit me up about it sometime.
Okay.
I'll just like
okay, now it really sounds like a cult.
No, like I just like can't really like explain it. I have to like show you how I learned about it, and it's kind of like a process.
That sounds kind of cool,
phone.
actually.
So I could show you on our phones if we want to take time to do that right now, but
no, we'll do it. We'll do it later.
It's pretty tight. Definitely like helps you get some good information at like the right time of the day and an easy way to like consume it. And it gets you away from like bad habits of how you consume things on your phone, I think.
Yeah, you'll have to show me. And I gotta see it to
being
understand,
just like
actually.
You know, you're in a digital like environment a lot with what you do. Like knowing how, have you heard anything about how the algorithms on Facebook and Instagram favor that has like controversial and like controversial content that would like get people like upset or angry rather than like positive and uplifting content that doesn't get as much engagement? Because have you
I've heard about that.
Yeah, so that's just like not a healthy environment to be in constantly. You see it all the time, like Instagram and Facebook is just it's a breeding ground for negativity.
Yeah, I don't use Facebook.
Twitter can be too.
I just didn't like it.
Depends on who you follow. But
see, that's what I think is cool, man, is that you just who you follow. I mean, you're choosing what you want to fucking watch. That's why I don't do on my ExZac Change page, I don't do, and on my Happy to Be Here, all that kind of shit. I just, like, I don't want to follow people just to follow them. Follow you, you follow me back. We're following each other. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, right. And I'm just following, and then it's like you're crying about something, or it's like weird shit. I found myself before when I would do the follow backs, because people would be like, follow me back. So I'd just be following people back. I'd be seeing, oh, my sister just gave birth to my now. I'm just like, what the fuck? Well, I have no business seeing this shit. Yeah, this is weird. So yeah, I just follow, and then you can control what you're intaking.
Yeah, you got to really be careful with like what. I mean, you don't even need to be careful. It's just like use common sense. Like share what you need to share. Don't air out your dirty laundry. It's just a common theme, So it's like bringing it all back. Like
some people put way too. They put a lot of personal shit on there.
Yeah, and you see it. Like you'll see it, like even in the ads. Like think about the ads you see on Snapchat. Like they're never about. It's always some fucking drama or something or
Snapchat. Definitely, they're like Discover shit where you find new stuff.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
all that shit, bro. All that drama. Snapchat's about it, bro. They're like MTV
for real.
They're like VH1 of the fucking social medias.
And yeah, so like, they know who they're targeting on each audience. Like Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Snapchat, I feel like, is for
YouTube.
younger folks, dude. Especially like
For sure.
Older people are starting to get on Facebook and do the Facebook thing.
If you were the age of like 12 to 25 during 2012, you probably downloaded Snapchat.
Yeah, I liked Snapchat. I thought Snapchat was cool. It was a good way to like
just share something real quick. Did you ever get into the Snapchat art where you color?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
take a picture
dude.
of somebody and then like color in
Yeah,
something?
turn them into an elf or do like you know
I had
shit
some
like
pretty
that.
crazy ones. They were sweet.
See, an app that's like cool like that, it make like help you be creative. And then they just got the filters, and it took all the creativity away.
Exactly.
Because did you save any of them?
I might have as like a display contact or like this contact display.
Yeah, dude, Snapchat was dope. And I heard that Snapchat was gonna go away. Somebody was like, "Oh, Snapchat's going out of business or something. They might losing money or something," but they're still around. Yeah, dude. So that was like that was like 2013.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that. I remember those days, man. Big Snapchat days. Now Snapchat, bro, I find it hard to get like everything I post on social media, like on everything. Like number one, there's a lot of moments that you just don't record.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, oh, that would have been really good content, but I just
you gotta live in that moment most of the time. Like if it's easy for you to like record something, go for it.
I mean,
but
sometimes like in this world we live in right now, you wish you could just record your whole life and then just like go in and cut out the good shit. You know, and be like, oh shit, that freestyle right there, that was fire. All right, keep that.
Yeah.
All right, you know, oh, that joke, that was pretty witty. Okay, we'll keep that one.
I don't know. I don't think I could.
I would like to DVR my life.
That would be crazy.
It would be really cool to, especially for like nostalgic purposes.
Speaking of that, I had like one of my high school football games saved on our DVR for like 6 years probably. Like my grandparents just deleted it like pretty recently.
Damn, why would they do that to you?
They updated like their box or something.
And then it gets rid of it. Yeah. Oh, it was on the DVR because it was on TV.
Yep, on a Comcast game.
Huh, that's awesome. So you were in high school, what, like 3 years ago?
No, like graduated in 2012.
2012.
So
you young dude, man, young entrepreneur. What do you do, man? What do you do for a living? What's your thing? What do you have a background in?
I like to learn a lot of things. Right now I do a lot of digital marketing. Learning how to do full stack web development, so like coding.
Oh, okay.
I build websites right now, but not like I'm hosting my own website and building on my own like builder with code and whatnot, but I'm learning that, so that's fun. I play a lot of guitar.
Eager to learn.
Love to learn. If you got any book recommendations, throw them at me.
Dope, dude.
I like to skateboard, snowboard. I like to hang out with my friends.
What's your goals? What are you trying to do? I'm
trying to get into a place in life where I'm just like, I feel good and I'm already there. So like just keep doing it and keep growing from it. But I know like growing makes me feel good. So if we're talking like hard numbers, I want to have like a dope compound with some of my homies. And have like a couple 100 acres that we all split up and then we all build some dope shit on it and have a bunch of money to go do more stuff and learn more things.
Dude, that's fucking awesome, man. Yeah, I think that's why we get along, bro, because that's like basically my exact fucking vision for life. Like if I could just be, yeah, man, just be able to go do fun things, enjoy life, be able to give back, be able to.
Exactly. A lot of my like living philosophy has just been I want to put more positive in than like I take from it, you know? So, and I want to take a lot from it, so I got to give a lot to it.
Damn, that makes sense. These psychedelic experiences have made you a wise man. Seen a lot of perspective.
Seen a couple once or twice.
For a young dude, man, that's awesome, bro. Well, shit, man. Thanks for doing this podcast. I think we did one before, but it just wasn't right. So, you know.
Hey, sometimes it'd be like that.
That's how it is sometimes. All right.
Well,
Josh Bender.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's smoke that little fucker right there.
Head on.
All right. All right, y'all. Peace.
Yo, I'm just happy to be here.
Well, I was raised Catholic, so I wasn't really. No, didn't really go. But I went to church. No, I got baptized and like I went to church with friends.
Okay, now it really sounds like a cult.